finally started watching The Acolyte. I watched all 4 episodes in one go, just like binge watched them all. I think that's a much better way to watch this show because I think waiting week to week for these like 25-minute episodes would be disappointing. The first episode I actually kind of liked, and I have not liked the Star Wars Disney Plus shows. I'm not a fan of Mandalorian. I thought season 1 was pretty good, but it did have some terrible episodes in it. I thought season 2 was okay. It had some good episodes and a lot of bad episodes. And season 3 of Mandalorian I thought was just terrible. Boba Fett is one of the worst things I've ever seen, one of the worst things that ever happened in Star Wars. Obi-Wan did have redeeming elements that people I feel like leave out a lot when they talk about that show. The show is bad. It has some redeeming elements, but it's a bad show. Ahsoka also has some redeeming elements, but it's not a very good show. Andor, I liked, but I also think Andor is a bit overrated. I thought it was good. It's the best Disney Plus Star Wars show, kind of by far, but I don't think it's a great show. It's not up to the level of like a House of the Dragon or The Last of Us or shows like that. So The Acolyte I knew nothing about. I kind of became so uninterested in the Disney Plus Star Wars shows that I didn't watch any trailers for this. I didn't even read what it was about coming out. I just binge watched it all last night. And I've been hearing that the internet hates it over the last week. But watching episode 1, I actually really was kind of into episode 1. I liked that it started out with her killing a Jedi. And I didn't think you needed to know any backstory on who the Jedi was. Just the fact that it was a Jedi that she killed, I thought was pretty cool. And you could see the emotion and kind of the impact that it hit her with to kill a Jedi. I hate the first 10 minutes of the show because I hate when TV shows or movies sometimes start out with an action scene. Like, how about you start out with like a good 10-minute dialogue of this girl May and this Jedi lady that she kills, Indara. How about just a good 10 minutes of dialogue to build some drama? But instead the show starts out with her walking into this bar and easily beating up everybody in the bar, everyone in the cantina, and then she fights the Jedi and has this crazy fight scene and then she kills her. I wish she just killed her or something like that. Cut out the fight scene where it shows what a badass she is. But overall, I kind of did enjoy episode 1. The thing that I think is sad about The Acolyte is that unlike Obi-Wan and unlike The Mandalorian and unlike Ahsoka and definitely unlike the Book of Boba Fett, I actually feel like the concept, the bare minimum concept of this show is pretty good. Whereas Obi-Wan, I don't think their story was great. They were just retreading things that had already been done before. And Boba Fett, like, these shows didn't have good stories. This has a good concept of these twins where one went to the dark and one went to the light, but neither of them are Jedi or Sith, and I think it's pretty interesting, especially in episode 3 when you find out they were raised by witches and they were raised to be part of this witch cult, and one of them decided, I don't want to be a part of this. And I like that the witch mother actually gave her blessing in a way to be with the Jedi, but her sister couldn't accept that, and her sister had to fight against her. And I liked all these things. It's just the execution of them all that I don't think is good. But I feel like this show had more going for it, at least in the original concept, than most of the Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Just the execution is not great. I like Daphne Keane in the show, and I like the main girl, I guess. Now, I get that twins can look identical, but it's crazy for twins to not see each other for years and they got almost the exact same haircut with the same braids, with the same highlights. Like, that's crazy to me. That's a little nuts. Like, did they need to look that identical? It felt like they couldn't even be bothered to change the girl's look. Like, they were just lazy when they switched from scene to scene. They just changed her outfit and give her some extensions on the back. The death of the second Jedi, I thought was just, like, so stupid and how it was done. The dude says, like, May, I've been waiting for you or something like that. When she was just there trying to fight him with this invisible force field forever. Why didn't he say, I've been waiting for you? What does he mean he's been waiting for her? She had just visited him. Also, what is this invisible force field in front of him? That's never been in Star Wars. They have, like, ray shields and stuff like that, but the invisible force field, I didn't like that. I didn't like really any of episode 4. Episode 4, so many things don't make any sense. May changes her entire motivation for the show on the flip of a dime. She's just walking through the woods and she's like, I must kill these Jedi, I must kill these Jedi. And then she's like, actually, I guess I'm not going to kill these Jedi. I guess I'm actually going to turn myself into the Jedi. And you know, my sister just really changed everything ever since she came around. You know, everything's different. And there was nothing alluding to that. She went from 1 second, I've got to kill the Jedi, to 1 second, actually, nah, I'm going to turn myself into a Jedi. I don't want to kill him anymore. That was just so badly done. Again, great concept of a show, like at the very bare minimum of it, but just everything left and right is just so poorly done. Everybody's clothes look so brand new. Like, how are these people on these dirty planets, but they look like they just wore these outfits out the fucking mall? It's just not good. And also, just the editing of this show is really, really bizarre. Every single time that the episode ends, it feels like we're like dead in the middle of a scene in the middle of the episode. It doesn't feel like this episode has been like drawing to a conclusion. It feels like we're in the middle of the episode, in the middle of a scene, and then just it like condenses into a circle and the credits come up. It's so strange and just like really bizarre editing. And I am convinced at this point that just really none of these shows are going to be great. There's never going to be a great Disney Plus Star Wars show unless, it doesn't matter what director you get, unless the head of the operations changes, the product is not going to change. It's going to be garbage. I'm going to keep watching this. I'll probably do, like, when all the rest of 4 episodes come out, I'll probably do another vid. Let me know what you think of the fucking Acolyte. I think it's like, man, I think it's super disappointing. Could have been really cool. I like the era that it's set in, but it is not good. Peace.